Oh, Botreg's fine. Oh, fun. I want to keep it like this. It's been more efficient this way. Can people hear me? Yes, people can hear me. Okay, good. Good. I've actually liked this a little bit better because before the YouTube comments were it would take like 20 seconds, and now it takes like just whatever. Read two comments at the same time. It's fine. Hi, everybody. Jaden. How's it going, buddy? It's the middle of the night. How's it going? How's it going, Jaden? Can't sleep? Neither can I. Oh, America. Okay. Did I just want to show that drawing I did? Yes, of course I did. Ugh. Okay. I had a very frustrating day today. Can people hear me? Am I audible? Is the music too loud? I had a very annoying day today. Very frustrated by it all. Bad, Jaden. It was very bad. I was trapped in the car for about 3 hours, constantly trying to find places that I could not find. So, very annoyed. Reminded me how how nightmarish this town can be when you're trying to do anything. Want to go somewhere? Yeah, well, the two places you were planning to visit in the day are 2 hours apart. And they might not even exist. Ugh. So, we're gonna... I was in New York. Didn't ask me about that. Got back from New York. The New York trip went actually pretty well. I did an open mic night there in New York. And what by that I mean, Jaden, if you're curious. I did stand-up comedy in New York. If you want to see the results of that, if you're curious, I posted the recording of me doing it on my YouTube. Anyways, what was I saying? So, that went well. Surprisingly well. To the point where I'm like, ooh, I should maybe pursue this more as an idea. So that's what I was doing today. I was going to try and go to some comedy clubs. I was going to try and go to some clubs. 2 were listed. Tried to find both of them. Nowhere to be found. So I drove to these clubs, and I live in Houston. So Houston is nightmarish, and you have to drive everywhere. Okay, yeah. Nightmarish, and you have to drive everywhere. And I spent like 6 hours. I spent about 3 hours 3 or 4 hours driving crisscross across the city. I could have gone to Austin in that time. Anyways, yeah. So I am incredibly frustrated, Jaden. I'm very stressed out today. It was a very, very obnoxious day that I did not have fun doing. So, how are you working on Crimson X or Thunderball right now? Yeah, it has a tendency to do that. It has a tendency to do that. Having trouble sleep. By the way, Jaden, do not stay up on my account. If you are tired, please go to bed. I do not want... I did the insomniac thing in school where I barely got any sleep for like years. So... It's no fun. Yeah, I can figure. How is school going? That's cool. That's cool. That's yeah. There's Proton. Proton does that, right? Or Photon? I forgot how to pronounce her name. And also sounds a little bit like Green Lantern. It went really well. The open night. Eh, open night. Mike was a surprise hit. So much so, I kind of want to keep doing it. Okay. That's good, I guess. If you're curious, I posted the audio from it on my YouTube. I mean, sure. I mean, if that's what you feel that you have to do. I mean, periodically, as you get better at art, you tend to redesign your characters to match your more current style. Portland. Anyway. Are you gonna write that into the universe, into like the world, that Thunderbolt changes his costume? Hello, Jim. Hello. How's it going? That's good. So, yeah, anyways. I guess it's working on a single thing again, but it's faster. Cool. cool. So, how do you feel about the ADHD test, Jen? How do you feel about that? And have you got any drawings you're working on there? Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm happy to hear that's bringing some peace to your mind. That's a cool name, Cyber Warrior. I like that name. I recently went to New York, if you're curious where I've been. I went to New York this weekend. That's cool. I've been watching some Venture Brothers lately. Yeah. Don't know if that's appropriate for you guys, but I think I've been interested in the Venture Brothers. Is what they kind of do is they mix real life celebrities with they mix real life historical figures with different superheroes, and it's Opus. Good to see ya. So it's always really fascinating when they do that. Anyways, good to see you, Ope. Glad you're here. Do you like my new look? It comes from the fact that I'm trying. No matter what I do, my thing here always looks. The notebook always looks crooked, so I was like, oh, why don't I make it crooked myself, and then it'll look straight. So it looks straighter now. Good to see you. Good to see you. Been too long. How are things? See, but the notebook itself is straight. That's the important thing. Okay. No, you probably haven't read that book. Probably not appropriate for you to read. Even though I think I read it. No, it's fine. So, hey, Opus. It's good to see you. Guess where I was this week? Oop. I was in New York City. Oh, is it? Oh boy. Okay, I can fix that. Hello. Okay, I know what's going on. Let me turn down the desktop audio. Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Sure. Ah. Yes, the Windy Apple itself. I was there for 4 days, 3 nights. I did stand-up. That's part of the reason I wanted to go was to try some stand-up. Like stand-up comedy there at an open mic night. I hadn't done it in a very long time, and I was like, I'm always frustrated with myself that I can't let that. Is it? This is everybody's favorite thing. Let's see. Testing. 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 Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better now? I don't know why it's so quiet. Why are you being so quiet? Anyways. Yeah. So I was unaware of that too. Yes, that's what I've been trying to get at. I've brought it up several. Well, Opus, I have good news for you. I posted the audio of that night on my YouTube channel. So if you want to listen to me, do some some stand up, many of it not super super written. Feel free to. And guess what? It went surprisingly well, and I'm very excited about that. And I kind of am now motivated to maybe keep doing it. Yeah, go ahead. It's only 4 minutes long. That video right there. Leave a like if you're so inclined. I'm actually quite proud of it. It went really well, Opus. It went really well. They liked it. People came up to me afterwards and said how good it was. That's a good sign usually. Never got that response before from stand-up. I did stand-up a while ago, but I was doing all these gimmicks, and they weren't funny, and I was just, I don't know. And I got up there and I just wasn't really. I stopped trying to be like gimmicky and I just talked about stuff. And that turned out to be a lot better. So I realize now, no gimmicks. Just okay. Sounds good. Me too. Yeah, I was quite proud of myself. That was actually a really good feeling. I tried to do some. Okay, that sounds fun, Jaden. That sounds fun. And I tried to do. So here's the story. I tried to do some tonight. I get a list of two places that are holding stand some open mics tonight. Unfortunately, I forget Houston is sucks and is terrible. I tried to drive to the first place, couldn't find it. An hour. It took me like an hour and a half to get out there. So I'm like, okay, I can't find this place. So I try and go to the other place, can't find it. Neither of these places seem to exist. And I spent like 3 hours stuck in the car just driving all over the place. And I finally just gave up and came home. Could have driven to Austin in the time that it took me to find these stupid clubs and just done stand up there. I've never been. I was very frustrated tonight. How's it going with you, Hope? Just yeah, just hours of travel stuck in a stupid car, and that's Houston. That is life. The lifestyle of Houston is you're just trapped in a car all day. It's like I can't. I don't want to do that anymore. So I don't know. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here in Houston. Yeah, how are things going with you, Opus? Got anything new going on? Callie! Good to see you, buddy. Sorry I missed you, Callie, by the way. Callie lives in New York, and we made some tentative plans to meet up, but I never got around to it. Sorry about that, Callie. I apologize. Uh, I will say I had fun in New York, and I'm probably going to come back. I want to do that again at some point soon, sooner rather than sooner at some point within the next few months. So I'm definitely going to be swinging back there within the year, probably, if all goes according to plan. Yeah, yeah. That's cool, Jaden. That's cool. That's good. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Opus. Don't have to. Yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad, but I just had stuff planned every day, and I was like I kept meaning to, and it's just like at the time. Anyways, I wasn't there long enough. I do feel bad about that. Yeah. Opus. Yeah. Opus, would you ever be up for doing a D&D game again? How goes language acquisition, Callie? Have you finally settled on a language you're going to master? My cousins, good. Haven't talked to them in a bit. I know their their parent, their parents are really rich, um, and they're building them a house, which is fun. Um, yeah, their dad. Their dad, my technically my actual cousin is their dad. They're my first cousins once removed. So their dad is building. It was the what was he exactly? He was the former. I think he's officially retired now, but he used to be the fire chief of Sacramento. Not Sacramento, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. Yeah, for the Saskatchewan. No, Saskatoon. Saskatoon. Yeah, I want to. I haven't talked to them in a bit, unfortunately, just because they haven't been on, which is a shame. Yeah, there's some family drama going on. Not with them, with other people right now. But besides that, but there's always family drama going on with that side of my family. So yeah, I'll say it. Yeah. Uh, yeah, they all are. I think Opus. I actually think they're all around your age. I think they're all like yeah they're all your age, Opus. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's a cool dude. I like. I think highly of him, of course, because he's my cousin. But yeah, I thought he was like such a cool dude. I mean, I live far away from them, so there's no drama that I have to deal with. But my mom is in constant contact with them, and they're always like sniping at each other about something. Yeah, yeah, no, they're all. Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I think they're all around. Maybe like a year or two older than you. And they've all lived together, which is wild. Like they all, they've all been living together for years. They're very close. Hey, hey, Alex. Yes, Bazinga, Bazinga. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Did I lose? Did I lose you? Yeah. So, uh, yeah. So, no, I think they're great kids. I love those kids. Um, good. Like, yeah, it is, isn't it? That I was always the youngest, like cousin in the family. So I was always very, and so I wasn't, so I didn't really have too many cousins around my age, except my cousin Catherine and them. So I was always I always liked seeing them because it was nice seeing people my own age. Okay, that's cool, Jaden. Ooh, that's gross. Calais. Um, yeah, we have a nice family. It's a nice family. I like my extended family for the most part. Um, I've had to block an aunt of mine from my phone, but she doesn't know that, so I don't think she watches these. So, but besides that, well, that's somebody at least. That always bums me out when people are like that. Like you're cut. I don't know. You used to get along. People used to get along with their cousins quite well. I don't know, or I do at least. Okay, Jaden, that's cool. Yeah. The problem. What sucks is she's really nice, like most of the time, and then she'll just say like something really nasty. Yes, it's the one you're thinking. And then she'll just say something randomly quite nasty. Yeah, Jaden, that sounds neat. I like that idea. That's the series you're gonna do your next one? Yes, Jaden, I like it. I'd be interested in reading it someday. Yeah, I have an uncle I also have a little bit of problems with, but I don't know. He was very close to my dad though, so I don't really like. I don't really think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He was very close to my dad, and I'm happy my dad had him in the last few years of his life. Yeah. Well, at least well, does your sister? That's good. I'm happy that you're close to your sister, Callie. That's good. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Bag yourself a normal and keep a hold of that. Listen, I don't know, Callie. That sounds close. That sounds close to me. That sounds like you have a close relationship. That you're comfortable around her, and you don't feel the need to hide. We can talk about pointless bullshit too. That's fine. Yeah. Uh, I'm making tentative plans to put together another put together a D&D campaign, and I'm trying to find people who would be available for it. Go. Yeah. Just go to places normals congregate. You know, Tommy Bahamas. Just go to places normals congregate. Tommy Bahamas. Yeah. Tommy Bahamas. No, no. The Gap. The normals congregate at the Gap. Um, Marvel movies. You know, good. You know, 3 weeks into a Disney movie premiere. What else? Uh, yeah, the Gap, I would argue, is probably a good place to find them. Sabaro Pizza. No, wait, no. Sabaro is full of freaks. Don't go to. It's a clothing store. The Gap or Old Navy. No, don't go to Sabaro. Sabaro's full of degenerate freaks. They fool you into thinking they're normal. Old Navy. Old Navy is the place where. Uh, Dick's Sporting Goods. Fade Macaw. What are you people doing up so late? Jeez. How's it going, Fade? Good to see you. Macaw, Macaw. I like to hear that, Fade. How's band going? Well, that's good, Kelly. That's normal. Oh yeah. It is 1 a.m. for me, Fade. 1 a.m. But I don't I don't have anywhere to be tomorrow, so yeah, okay, yes, it's 1:05. It's half past the hour. $5 past the hour. What? So what have you been up to, Fade? Oh, it's a long weekend. When does it start? Is it Friday? Do you get Friday off now, or do you get Monday off? Oh, fun, 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 fun. Well, that's good to know. Well, it's 106. It's always the same minute. The minutes never change. It's only the hour that changes. Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. A young guy. When you lose your job or quit in anger, like I did, you tend to lose track of holidays. I didn't quit in anger. I quit out of exhaustion. But that's fun. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that yeah. Sharing the time zone sharing is the most. Jaden, do not say where you live online. It means you all are on the West Coast somewhere. I'm thinking, or the East Coast. I forget which. Um, that's interesting to know. I might try and do something then. I might try and do something big for Labor Day then. That's good to know. Oh my god. Oh, Faye, you may. I'm anxious. I'm anxious on. I'm like anxious on your behalf now. I'm anxious on your behalf now. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? You best enjoy it then. You're not going to get a good sleep. You're not going to get us a good sleep, so at this point, so you best have at least have fun staying up late. I mean, that is the place to pass out. What if I started talking like this? What if we started? What if we started? Does that work? It doesn't work. Anyways, so what? So how's band been going? Started. I don't know. I don't know enough about the ASMRs. I did listen to an ASMR podcast. Nope, not gonna make that joke. That was a joke. We used to make in high school, but I'm not gonna make that here. Oh, such a cute kitty. I mean, uh, then I have been. Have I? I don't think I have been. I should have been invited to, because there's somebody who should have invited me. Um, okay, I'll talk. I'll talk about very boring subjects I'm interested in. Hey, Anna Kits. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. I'll talk about very boring subjects I'm interested in and nobody else is. Okay, so I've been reading this book about the 30 Years' War, and what you gotta really remember. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. You gotta really remember that the 30 years. Yes, I am drawing. Gotta really remember about the 30 Years' War. We'll see if it goes well. You guys want to see a drawing I did a few days ago that I stupidly did off stream, and so I didn't get any credit for it, and I'm actually kind of proud of. Yeah. So Anna, how's art? Here it is. One down, you pass it around. 96 bottles of beer on the wall. 96 bottles of beer on the wall. 96 bottles of beer. You take one down, you pass it around. 95 bottles of beer on the wall, 95 bottles of beer on the wall, 95 bottles of beer. You take one down, you pass it around. 94 bottles of beer on the wall, 94 bottles of beer on the wall, 94 bottles of beer. You take one. Yeah. Yes. I drew this a few days ago. I'm kind of proud of it. Thank you. Thank you. "94 bottles of..." Okay. So the 30... Okay, so the trick I find to getting most people to go to sleep is I talk about very I talk about very esoteric subjects that only I'm particularly interested in, and everybody gets really bored and just eventually falls asleep. Well, I think it's a skill anybody can learn. Yes, but you're interested in that. Okay, let's talk about the 30 Years' War. So, I'm reading a book about it currently at the moment, and the 30 Years' War is... The 30 Years' War starts out as fundamentally Europe's struggle to deal with the Protestant Reformation that was started by Martin Luther. And basically what you get is, okay, so... Okay, so we start... I'm currently reading a book about it. That's kind of why it's on the tip of my mind. Okay, so... the Protestant Reformation happened, and it's loosely related. It's loosely related to. It's related to this. Oh man. Okay, so the 30 Years' War is famously really complicated, and there's a lot of factors into it. But let's start with the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation happens, and generally it split. It splits kind of Europe into two. It splits kind of Europe into three camps. Western Europe specifically into three camps: Catholicism, Lutheranism, and then the newer one that pops up, Calvinism. Now, if you're curious about Calvinism, just very briefly, the Pilgrims that went to the U.S. were Calvinists. Calvinist is considered sort of Calvinist is a very radical. Yeah. Yeah. So Calvinism. So Calvinism plays a big role in this because the addition. Yeah. Anyways. I could very legitimately talk about this for several hours because it's very fascinating. But it's basically what starts off as a minor rebellion in Bohemia eventually leads to the medieval essentially World War Zero. it leads to World War Zero, and it's uh, and uh, and the devastation that will happen won't be equaled until World War One hits. Anyways, I like tea too. I grow my own tea leaves. I should mention that I have a tea leaf. Oh, they were, yeah. I grow my, I've grown my own tea leaves. That's how cool of tea I am. Yeah. Yes. Oh, they were Calvinists. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big deal. That there's Calvinism and there's hyper Calvinism, which doesn't. Anyways. So okay. Uh. Okay. So funny. Okay. So what sets off this war is an incident called what's it called? The word. It's there's a very specific word for it, and it always makes. It's I think it's the disenfranchisement. Defenestrate. Yes, the defend. It's an incident called the defenestration. Oh yeah, I also grow sugar cane. Although the hurricane kind of hurt a lot of that. I grow my own sugar cane as well, and mangoes. Yeah, I grow mangoes. Have you ever had blue tea, Anna? It's a this Thai. It's a very floral tea from Thailand. That is comes from blue flowers. And it's really lovely. It's really lovely. Like it's this really lovely like floral blue tea. It's very relaxing. Defenestration. Yeah. So the defenestration of Prague. Okay. So okay. Bohemia. Classic tea. So Bohemia. Okay. So to understand why all this is important, you must understand what the Holy Roman Empire was. And to understand what the Holy Roman Empire is, you must understand what. Okay, so the Holy Roman Empire is kind of the remnant. Who Charlemagne or Charlemagne the Great was the king of the Franks, and he kind of reconquered most of Western Europe. Um, and he split, and and when he died, he only had one son, so that wasn't a big deal. But the Franks didn't have, um, it didn't have like primogeniture, and primogeniture means you inherit. The oldest son inherits everything, the major titles. So when he died, when his son died, it was split between his three grandsons, and the three nations that were split off eventually became Germany and France. Yeah, it is great. Yeah, stupid Red Bull. Um, yeah, it is. Yep. What's your favorite type of tea, Anna? So, so for the past, what ends up happening is it kind of forms this sort of pseudo empire, this empire called the Holy Roman Empire, which is Holy Roman Empire, which is kind of the remnants of Charlemagne's empire. Now, okay, so the Holy Roman Empire is very Catholic, and Charlemagne was hyper Catholic. He was obsessed with Catholicism. Um, but the Holy Roman Empire is the Holy Roman Emperor is an elected position, and for the past couple hundred years, the Holy Roman Emperor, at this point in history, has been controlled by the Habsburgs. That's right, Europe's favorite monarch. Europe's favorite monarchy. Now, the Habsburgs are notorious like empire builders and notorious for something else, but won't get into that. Look it up. Caused a lot of health problems for later down the line. Anyways, um, uh, Anna, have you ever heard of the have you ever heard of the history behind sleepy time tea? Are you? I shouldn't say this. What? Do you know the whole weird history behind sleepy time? Uh, yeah. So sleepy time. If you oh, this is gonna be interesting. Sleepy time. Do you know what sleepy time tea is? You guys know what it is. It's one of the bigger brands, right? So, sleepy time tea. Are you? Do you guys know that it was founded by a cult that believes in aliens and is also incredibly racist? Yes, yes. There's yes, that is very true. The founder of it was a big believer. Was a big member of a cult. That yeah, paper is fascinating. Uh, yeah. No, 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 no. Not Scientology. This was okay. So okay. Uh, part of it. Uh, oh, Anna, you don't understand. Fade is yeah. So you don't know what you've done. Yeah. Is there a big fight between orchestra and band? I wasn't in either. You know what I was in high school? Nothing. I didn't do anything in high school. That's how cool I was. I was too good for stuff. And that didn't have a negative repercussion on me at all. Yeah. I should have done theater. I wanted to do theater. I did do theater for a little bit, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, trumpet. Terrible instrument, the trumpet. Have you ever played D&D, Fade? You should. I really want to play. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to vaguely organize a D&D camp. I had an idea a few weeks back for a D&D campaign. No, I'm kidding. Of course, I love the trumpet. I listen to ska fade. I listen to ska. If I didn't like the trumpets, that would be very depressing lifestyle for me. Yeah, music. So Anna, what instrument do you play? Oh, that's fun. How, were you any good at it? Were you the best in the world? I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Fade, obviously. Who's do you, is there like an actual yeah, no. Who do you guys think like legitimately which instrument attracts the biggest jerks? Like legitimately, which instrument attracts the biggest jerks? Would you say? I had a cousin who played the violin. She was quite good. Violas? Why would you say that? Oh, naturally violent creatures they are. So, what are you guys? Yes. So, what are you guys' like favorite music to play? I'm curious. Like, yeah, I've seen them before. I uh, sorry to keep people interested. Okay, so the Holy Roman Empire Emperor is an elected position, and there are there are six electors of the Holy Roman. There are six electors of the Holy Roman Emperor. Um, One of them is the Kingdom of Bohemia, and the Kingdom of Bohemia. There are six electors of the Holy Roman Empire, and one of the electors is the King of Bohemia. Now, the King of Bohemia is not part of the Holy Roman Empire; it's technically a separate entity. And for the past couple hundred years, the Bohemian king has been a Habsburg, and the Habsburg king has always elected, has been a member of the Habsburg dynasty, and the Habsburgs have always elected a Holy Roman Emperor, has elected a Habsburg. And the problem is basically that the Habsburgs now have had this like chokehold on the both the on the Holy Roman Empire, and their lands are constantly expanding. Now, this is bad for many nations because the Habsburgs are one expansionist like hell, two Catholic, and are obsessed with the Catholic Church, and also obsessed with returning the eradicating the heresy of Protestants. So there's this kind of plan that comes up is that the current Holy Roman Emperor Matthias is on his deathbed, and the plan is there's a plan to for the first time in years, elect somebody different, elect somebody who's not from the Habsburg line, and the way to do that is to change. The way to do that is to mess with the is to get a non-Habsburg elected to the Bohemian throne. So a rebellion breaks out. So independently of this, sort of, a rebellion breaks out in Bohemia. So unfortunately, though, the only candidate is justifiable candidate is a Habsburg, even though Bohemia is very Protestant at this moment. But there's no other good candidate. So they elect a Habsburg, Maximilian. No, it's yeah. So they elect a Habsburg. It's Maximilian, yeah. Okay. The problem is that the person they elect is also very likely going to become the next Holy Roman Emperor. The problem is that the person they elect is also very likely about to become the next Holy Roman Emperor. And he starts threatening to take away religious freedoms, so there's a rebellion, and that's when the defenestration happens. That the king's he sends in representatives. It's not Maximilian. It's Frank. Yes, it's he sends in representatives to Prague, and the people of Prague are so offended by this, they throw them out the window. Surprisingly, the king's representatives survive, and depending on who you talk to, either it was a holy intervention or they landed in shit. Anyways, that's the defenestration. Needless to say, it gets much more complicated at that. Yeah. So that's the defenestration of Prague. Yeah. Okay. I did mention that this eventually erupts into essentially World War Zero, right? Frederick, right? Frederick, that's what I was. Ferdinand. Yeah, okay, Ferdinand. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. Ferdinand. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so Ferdinand gets elected to the Bohemian throne, which is a problem because Ferdinand is an insane, hyper obsessive leader. Is hyper Catholic, so much so that he wants to destroy, bring the Catholic Church back into extreme power and get rid of Protestantism, which is a problem because a lot of people are Protestant, and especially in Bohemia. So the solution is the Bohemians get rid of Ferdinand, and just as they get rid of Ferdinand, he's elected to the Holy Roman Emperor, which makes him one of the single most powerful men in Europe. And they elect, oh boy, Frederick the Fifth. There's a lot of Fredericks. You're just gonna have to. No, it's Maximin. Frederick the Fifth. I'm getting a few of these names mixed up. Sorry. Frederick the Fifth. Now, Frederick the Fifth is many things. He is young. He is considered quite good looking. He's considered young. He was about 22 when he was elected. His wife His wife is uh, the prince is the only daughter of Charles the Second. Uh, is the only daughter of Charles the Second, the King of England. So, and currently his descendants are who are on the throne at the moment. Fred And through political machinations, he is elected the King of Bohemia. Now, this is bad because he's under control of the Holy Roman Emperor, which is something he shouldn't, and he should not in any way, he's under control of the Holy Roman Emperor, and he should not in any way accept this position because it would be very, very stupid. He does. He does accept this position. And just as they just as Ferdinand is kicked out of being in, just as they kick Ferdinand out of the position of King of Bohemia, he is elected. He is elected Holy Roman Emperor. So now Ferdinand is one of the most powerful men on earth, and he's just been removed. And one of his own vassals has taken. No, it's Frederick is baby girl coded. Ferdinand is bloodthirsty sociopath coded because he's about to lay waste to Bohemia. Honestly, when you read about Frederick, he kind of comes off of as kind of like, oh, what's the Tumblr term? What's the Tumblr term that they like to use for guys like Frederick? Forgive me, I'm a little bit too old to say this. Small bean. Frederick comes off as small bean. He is a good-looking, very like idealistic and very, very not guy who does not think things through all that much. And he's like, the first thing they always mention about him is he was quite good looking and that his wife was also quite good looking. So Frederick should never have accepted the position of King of Bohemia. Anyways. And beyond that, it gets much more complicated. So basically, he takes up the Bohemian throne. Part of the problem is that the person he wanted to rely on to help him secure the Bohemian throne was the King of England, his father-in-law. The problem with that is France. France is an issue. See, Frederick was not maybe the brightest guy in the world, because if he had just waited a few years, he would have been essentially the King of England. Frederick would essentially have been the King of England. Yeah. So Frederick's wife. Okay. Anyways, Frederick's wife was the sole child of James. Yeah. Do you guys know that James the King? Do you know that King James is gay? Was gay? If you're curious, and if you're curious where you've heard that name before, the King James Bible. Anyways, it gets complicated. The 30 Years' War is very famously quite complicated because I haven't even talked about like the War for Dutch Independence, which is a pretty big element in all of this. I don't know, Fade. I don't know. No. Oh, you didn't know that King James was gay? Yep, he was. buried next to his husband, or buried next to his husband. One second. I'm curious if this is real. Do you know that the inventor of the toilet? No. I guess he was. Thomas Crapper is said to be the inventor of the toilet. So that Thomas Crapper is said to be the inventor of the toilet. Yeah, that's a surprising one that people don't know about. I was taught that, at least in my school. We learned that he was. But yeah, I'm surprised most people don't know this. Hello, Jaden. Sorry, just yeah. Tell me about this D&D session, Anna. I want to hear about it. Hello, Jaden. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's yeah. A friend of mine told me he didn't know that. I was quite surprised. I thought that was common knowledge. Yeah, go ahead. I don't mind. I guess hi. I'm curious. Partly, I'm curious. I'm trying to organize a D&D game lately. Anyways, yeah, go ahead. I'm curious. Hey. Um. So Anyways, so Frederick screws up. Anyway. So Frederick essentially would have been, in many ways, the king of England. His wife would have been, but his children would have inherited the throne because they did inherit the throne. They did inherit the throne because Frederick's children, descendants, are still on the throne till this day. That's where his descendants are still the family on the throne. Anyways, they don't really teach. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I like. I like. Gas prices are high. That's how I feel. That's fun. Faith, thank God. Go to bed. Go to bed. Okay. Go to bed. All the young people in the audience right now who have school, if you're feeling tired, please go to sleep. Please go to sleep. I worry about you. when I see you guys up this late. Anyways. Okay. You don't? Okay. Well, that's cool. Okay. Okay. So when do the players come in? Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's a good twist. Ooh, that's fun. The D&D campaign I'm working on right now. Yes, you are. Anna, yes, you are. Everybody congratulate Anna for being very talented. Have you decided who the doll is going to be? You can tell us, by the way. They're not going to. Your friends aren't going to see it. Or, I guess not. It would... Anna, let me. Yes. Yes, I do know that they are that they're replaced at the kids are replaced. It's the kids are replaced and taken to the Fey realm. I'm very aware of that particular bit of folklore. I'm surprised that hasn't popped up more in like. They're taken to the Fey. They're taken to the Fey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. They've been taken by the Fey. Uh, well, there might be somebody in this chat. Oh, okay, screw it. That I was sort of hoping to maybe entice into joining, but I. Opus, you're busy for the next little while, right? I understand if you are. But okay. Okay, so I don't have all the details worked out on this exactly yet. So it's just kind of in a rough draft at the moment, but yeah. No, I totally get it. I totally get it. Okay. It starts It starts as a normal mission. A group of players have come into a local tavern with the promise of free and easy money. The advertisement has said they've all been yeah, or you can just close your. Okay, they've all been invited. They've all been invited. The advertisement said, free, cheap, easy money, little experience needed." It's a simple mercenary job, and the guy who's running it says, won't be that big of a deal. Won't be that big of a deal. Although he's sweaty and nervous. He's sweaty and nervous the whole time, so obviously something big is going on. And just as they're about to go on, he insists on them all drinking. He insists on them all drinking He insists them all on drinking a strange concoction that he's handing out. And just as the players drink it, they start feeling fuzzy, and they notice. And they're just about to pass, and just as they pass out, they notice versions of themselves, older and more powerful, in the distance. They fade out, pass out, and wake up in the middle. They fade out, pass out, wake up in the middle of a crate, middle of the crate, slowly filling with water. They have no idea where they are. They have no idea where they are. Only a note from the person who hired them saying, I'm very sorry, but I had to kill you. XOXOXO. Again, my bad." And the hope is, and so this is like the first kind of big event, is that they have to get out of the crate. And I'll leave some stuff in there for them to get out of the crate. And once they get out of the crate and get up to the surface, they see a strange city in the distance. And the sky, and they look up, and they'll see they are no longer in the normal world that they've been in. They're now a completely dark sky in a planet orbiting a black hole. Dun, dun, dun. They make it to the shore. And they make it to the city and to the shore. And it seems to shore. And the first thing that they see is a giant golden statue of themselves, older, slaying a great giant monster. First session. Okay, Opus. You're good. Yeah. So, might be 2 sessions. Yeah. So, I can explain a little bit further, I guess. Opus, are you here? I don't see Opus. But basically, they've woken up 10,000 years in the future. 10,000 years in the future, and it's the last. Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of people who are free, Opus, and people who I obviously want to play with, and I always like playing with you. Yeah. It might have to be 2. I said it's kind of in a rough draft. But yeah. I know I wanted to, like, I know I wanted it to like again. It's kind of been a rough draft, but it's like and I have a lot of ideas, but we'll see if I can get this together. Sometimes when I worry when I try and plan these that I'm like one of these people who's like, should I just write a book? But I don't feel like writing a book. Yeah. Well, I have some ideas, or I have ideas where the plot ideas about what's going on, why they're there, what they have to do. But I don't want to spoil that because there's somebody here who I at some point I'm maybe trying to entice into playing. So, uh, yeah. See, I so if you're curious, since Opus is muted again, I'll tell you what's going on. Very basically, they've woken up 10,000 years in the future, and it's the last bastion of uh, life, and the stars are going out, and the stars are going out, and there are forces in the city planning to um, careen the city into the black hole, thus killing the universe. That's sort of the plan, but I don't necessarily like it because it's like, I want them. I don't know. Killing everybody in the world feels always like a little bit of a cheap plan. So I want there to be something a little bit better. But yeah, but that's like the end of. That's like the whole end of it. That's like the whole end of it. The first thing they're going to have to deal is like with a gang is deal with a gang member, and uh, and the people who are doing it are the villains are their time traveling are their future selves. So there's going to be a whole thing where they have to kill themselves. Anyways, it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. It's a thing with a lot of twists. No, I was planning. Yeah, yeah. I think that'll be a fun one. I think that'll be a fun idea. It's yeah. Okay, we must be quiet now. Shh. Oh, just a picture I found. Just a picture I found online that I thought looked fun to draw. For some reason, Pinterest has been serving me up a lot of like Japanese modeling photo. I don't know, like Japanese fashion things. I don't know. So uh, I am on Pinterest. It is a very good place to if you're an artist. It's one of the better places to find references. I get very anxious when like showing people stuff because I'm like, I don't know how like this is dubious at times. If you're curious, I drew this a few days ago. I drew this a few days ago. Oh, damn it. Thank you. working on. Thank you so much. I'm quite proud of that one. No, I don't. You know, open. If I'm ever doing one of these D&D things, I always try and find a way to include you in it. I've known Opus for a while now, so we've played D&D a few times. We've never gotten that far, but yeah. I'm always gonna try. Yeah, anytime I do any of these role playing things, Opus, you have it open. By the way, anytime I do any of these role playing things, Opus, always open invitation. By the way, I'll just throw that out there now. Always an open invitation. That's fun. Do you want to share that? Do they find it frustrating? Did you, Anna? Did you draw your little profile picture? I always encourage people to show their art. Anytime, Opus. Anytime. I'm up for anything. Do they like it? They don't. Do they not? That's funny. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. We do write. I do writing on here. Not as much anymore, just because people seem to like the art more. So I've been doing more art, but you've been doing a lot of writing. Oh, that's good. That's really good. If Callie, if you're still here, Callie's a poet, by the way. So, who are some of your favorite poets? Poets. I dropped my eraser and I don't want to bend over and pick it up, so I'm picking it up with my toes. Okay, got it. Callie's a great poet. Yes. Oh, gosh darn it! I know there are young people here. I try and avoid cursing. I dropped it again. I don't even like this eraser all that much. I don't think it erases all that well. So who are some of your favorite poets? Oh, Callie, that lasts for the rest of your life. You'll always be trying to figure out your writing style. See, I don't like this eraser. I think it ruined. Kind of ruined it. Yeah. All good things to have as a poet. All good things to talk about in the form of the poetic verse. Yeah. Your style just kind of develops naturally, I think. Do you ever want to get your poetry published? Rule. Oh god. Yeah. Well, I've talked to some people. They don't seem that interested in getting their stuff published. Have you ever tried? Have you ever sent your poetry in to get published? I wrote one poem years ago. It was about a rock. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But not to give you advice. Everybody has their own journey, and I don't want to pre-propose what to do. But I will say, you don't have to tell anybody that you're throwing out. You're trying to get your poetry published. Just send it out, and see what happens. Just send it out. Just send it out and see what happens. And if you get your poetry published, and you can go like, guys, I got my poetry published, and everybody will be very excited for you. What are your favorite games? At least that was my dream in high school. Never did that. Not with poetry, with fiction. I wanted to write short stories. Kelly, I'm always so interested. Kelly's stuff is so interesting. I always find your stuff so interesting, Kelly. I always really like your stuff. Uh, I really liked Kelly. My favorite thing that you've shown me of your writing is the story where the girl turns into where the girl is like a butterfly. I always thought that was a really interesting one. I love Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't finished that. I need to finish that game. I haven't played it in a long time. It's such a good game. Ugh. Tired. Guys, I'm very tired. Today was very frustrating. It was incredibly frustrating, and I'm still quite frustrated from this. Welcome back from playing Fortnite, Jaden. Welcome back. Everybody, welcome Jaden back. Did you win, Jaden? Are you the best in the world yet? Who's your favorite companion? Who's your favorite party member, Anna, in Baldur's Gate 3? The amount of time I've heard my female friends say that about somebody, it's very depressing. I've heard so many of my I've heard so many female friends say that about guys they know. To catch them all is my real. I like Mean Girl. Oh. Although, I will throw this out. I will throw this out. There. I do. I have a theory, at least a little bit, that I don't think that's exclusively. I think there's a little. I don't know. I've noticed that there. I've had some guy friends also, who have had similar thoughts about girls. That they're so messed up, but I can be the one that makes them whole again. So I do wonder if this is more of a human instinct than people realize. Anyway, just so I have noticed that. Um, and when I say guy friends, it was me. By guy friends, I mean it was me, and by saying I can that was a relationship I thought I could be the one that fixed her. So that was me. That was me doing that, and yeah, and that I thought I could be I thought I could be the one to help her heal, and that that that's that's not what happened. Um, uh, still in contact, still in contact with her. Um, that was. I've never been more scared for anybody in my life than, and it was never. I should clarify. It was never romantic. With, but that did dominate my life for about a year, about 2 or 3 years. I occasionally text her still. Um, uh, and the pattern, because of the similar pattern, where I was very worried about her, uh, and so I tried. I reached out to her again. Anyways, sorry that was a memory that I hadn't thought of in a long time. Yeah, I still worry about her. Anyways, anyways, uh, lesson I learned: I'm not a therapist, and I should not have tried to act like one. That was my fault. That was my fault. I couldn't handle it, and I felt that relationship ended abruptly, and with I was quite hurt, and it was, I don't know. I don't regret being there for her at all, but I don't know. You guys don't know the full story behind that, and I don't think I should, and I don't think it's my place to tell it, so I'm not going to, especially in a public area. Okay. You guys don't know the full story behind that, and I should not talk about it more, because it's a very personal story. Yes. Well, I think that sounds very true to me. That sounds very true to me. I think, very basically, humans survived by being like social creatures and sticking together. And according to 2001 Space Odyssey, um, 2001 Space Odyssey, we were granted the gift of intelligence by a massive alien obelisk that crash landed on Earth. Or monolith. It's called a monolith. And if you are one very annoying guy in my comments who won't shut up, who won't stop messaging me, I have yet to defend my like of it, even though I did that in the video that he's commenting on, and he is very annoying about that. He's just chosen to ignore it, and that was a very and I anyways, you guys hadn't heard about that. Anyways, D&D. No, that's just a thing that's just going on in my life. I wonder, JoJo, I bet referenced that. No, there's this very annoying dude. I made a video review of a movie I liked. And there's this very annoying dude in the comments of that video who has not let go for weeks, approaching a month now, that I have refused to debate him. I have refused to debate him at all in the comments because I'm not going to fucking debate this loser in the comments. No. If anything, I'm being the troll. No, but he says, well, it's a bad movie. All it has is special effects. Go to bed. It's a bad movie. All it does is has special effects, and I could debate him on that, but I don't want to. I don't feel the need to. I went through film school. That was a debate a lot of people had about things, and I'm not going to. And I did that. I did what he wanted in the video that I made, and I don't feel the need to. And I know he isn't watching these streams. So yeah, look it up. So I kind of have been. I've been kind of doing like roundabouts on him for a bit. For a couple of weeks. Sorry. Okay. Fun things. I'm bummed that the D&D movie was kind of a flop, because that was actually pretty good. And I don't know why people. Yeah, I don't know. Night, Jaden. Have you guys ever seen the original D&D movie? Like, oh, what a disaster that one is. The original D&D movie is a massive disaster. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the it's actually it might be on the level of like so bad it's good. It's with how bizarre it is. Oh, boo ads. Okay. Well, oh, I mean, I can link it if you want. I'll link it if you want. Because he commented again because he just can't get over that I'm not giving it to him. I'm not giving him the debate he's been like demanding of me for a while. Let me find it. By the way, don't like talk. Don't like. Oh, there it is. Found it. By the way, don't like antagonize him. I don't want people to do that. By the way, Don't like antagonize him. It's funnier that he's just like screaming endlessly in a void. So like, don't mess with him. Just like, I find it funnier that like he hasn't got any. Yes, back. This guy, it's not, he hasn't got a, because okay, so I've gotten into this debate with people before, and he hasn't got a rise out of me yet. Yeah, yeah. Well, see how I got a rise out of him. I don't know. It's the only time I've ever been on the other end of like, wait, I can see this guy is trying to bait me into an argument. I'm gonna throw a reverse card on this friend here. Yeah. Yeah, well, he want sort of his what he wants me to do is spend like paragraphs defending a movie, and I'm like, I don't want to defend. I'm not interested. One, I think the video actually it's a short video, so it doesn't defend it all the way, but it does defend it some of it because I point out some ideas and like because the thing is that like it means nothing. It means nothing, and like my whole video is talking about the themes of the movie. He says like there's nothing to it, there's nothing to it, and I'm like, and what frustrated me is like, oh no, I'm not, yeah, but it's like what frustrated what why I didn't give him the time of day initially is because the video is about the themes of the movie, and he's like, well, there's no themes to it, there's nothing, and I said, so if you notice what I did in expertise of trolling, I just kept going, everything he said I would just go three, I would just go, sure, 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 over and over again. And it's funny because it's like this is like my defense that he wants now. 2 days ago, this loser is it was 3 weeks ago, and 2 days ago, this loser has responded to new comments on it. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, yeah. The guy cannot let me have my own opinion. Well, okay, so I don't know. I went to film school, and I've run into this sort of dude before. The I'm going to yell at you about movies, dude, for an hour. If I'm going to yell at you about movies, like, dude, for an hour, and I'm like, I am not interested in engaging with this dude again. Especially like, okay, because like it's especially like, okay, so film school. If you've gone to film school, the thing film school will make you do, and I think this is good, by the way. Yeah, by the way, if anybody here is ever thinking of going to film school, I don't recommend it, but T3 is a bad Terminator movie. I agree with you 100%. When the was an unneeded. What film school will make you do is watch like a lot of older movies, older, slower paced movies. And I'm going to be honest, you can usually tell the people who aren't cut out for this by the ones who complain about it. Complain about it a lot. Complain about that a lot. Oh, oh, the bet. Oh, sorry. Uh, yes, I agree. I agree. Maybe I didn't totally read your opinion there, and I would not have gone as hardcore on it. And it's not the worst. It's not the worst. The next one is Terminator Salvation. It's not. It's not the worst. The next one after that, the with Christian Bale, that's the worst one. Terminator. That one is like really epically bad. Sorry, I wasn't paying. I I don't even think it. Oh, okay, I know I went a little hard. It's not as okay in my opinion. Okay, so in my opinion, it's not as good as the James Cameron movies. I'll just say that. At least in my opinion, it's not as good as the James Cameron movies. But in retrospect of the kind of the crap that came after it, it is definitely the best non James Cameron Terminator movie. I actually really like the series. I don't. I don't even consider it like okay. Like there are objectively bad movies, at least in my opinion. Like and what? How? I mean, you know, I love the original trilogy quite a lot, but frankly, I love the original trilogy quite a lot. But frankly, Anna, I could take. I if they had never made another like thing after the original trilogy, I don't know. I probably would have been okay with that. Like, did we really? I don't know. I feel like the thing like it's like they're spinning their wheels on. I mean, people love Star Wars on it, so you're gonna get some pushback on that. But if I didn't, there's some good stuff in the new ones, but I'm uh, I'm glad Jaden isn't here because he would get very mad at me for saying this. You know, I was thinking recently. I was very defensive of Last Jedi, and I still think that's the best. No, that's not the best new one. The best new movie is Rogue One. That's the best new movie. But of the trilogy that they made, that was the best one in my opinion. But you know, the more I think about it, I'm like, the new trilogy is actually really mean spirited. When you break it down, it's actually incredibly uh okay, let's see. Terminator, Aliens, Avatar, the Avatar movies, not The Last Airbender, the Blue People movies. Like the new ones are I've been thinking about this lately. The new ones are actually really mean spirited, like to the old characters, like incredibly mean. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, I'll say this. I think it was probably, I think it was probably an okay idea, like to make her a female protagonist, like a female protagonist. I hope we're at the point where like at least in like stuff that we're like that female protag making having a female protagonist is not a weird thing anymore. Like I hope that we're at this point now that we can just like have female protagonists be female protagonists. I should point like Rogue One had a good female protagonist. It actually really frustrates me that Rogue One doesn't get more credit because I think that's like the best of the Star Wars new Star Wars stuff they produced. Anyways, I I kind of really hope we're past the point where like female protagonist is just a thing now, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Because I'm like, because there's been enough now that we don't. This is not an issue. I hope. I'm not on certain parts of. Yeah, exactly. I'm not on certain parts of the internet anymore, so I don't. I'm not privy to these discussions, which has been a blessing. But you know, I'm a big comic book fan, so it's like it's really not that big of a deal when they do like. Anyways, so I don't know. The problem is with Ray, if I could. The problem with Ray, if I could, I think, is that nobody really. I think Rain Johnson had. I think that if I could, this is a controversial opinion. Anna, you've given me your hot take. I'm going to give you my hot take. I think Last Jedi was right, and they should have stuck to their guns. That Rey was just a nobody from a backwoods planet, and she became and is. I think that's a much more compelling arc than being fucking Palpatine's granddaughter. Oh my god, what a shitty twist that was. Maybe the worst twist in I think it was a really I think that was a really clever idea. I think the original way, and they should have stuck to their guns with that, but holy shit, what a fucking stupid twist that was. Having said that, I think I'm going to throw it out there. At least with the original, the trilogy, the sequel trilogy. The First Order sucks as villains, and they're when I really think back to it, they're the entire problem. Also, I found the treatment of the original trilogy characters to be weirdly mean-spirited, and I actually kind of resent that. The more and more I think about that, the more and more I resent that. Yes, Opus! Did you not get to that part? Yes, dumbest twist in history. I was thinking about this, okay, I know everybody goes on about Luke, but... Yeah. Okay, Anna. I can take many takes. That is not one I'm going to accept. Yes, I agree. One problem I've had... So, a problem I really had, in retrospect, was, Force Awakens is a bad movie. I'm just going to say it now. Force Awakens is a bad movie. It's not bad, it's the worst movie ever. It has a lot of interesting ideas. The Force Awakens has a lot of interesting ideas that I don't mind. And there's some cool shots. I even think, the triple lightsaber thing that everybody made fun of, they justified that pretty well. I think Adam Driver was really well cast. Having said that, the only good parts of the movie are Han Solo. And that should have been a hint. Han Solo, I think back to The Force Awakens and I think, oh god. Yeah, no, it was Han Solo. Han Solo was the only good parts of that. The second Harrison Ford walks in, suddenly the movie becomes fun. No, not even. There's some good opening. There's some not bad opening shots, but Han Solo is the best part of the movie, which is bad because he dies at the end of the film. And that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks because, one, Harrison Ford, knowing Harrison Ford, he would only agree to do this movie if they killed him off. But what's so shitty about it is it's such a mean arc that he gets. Because at the end, it's oh, yeah, they thought their son has been dead. Layla and Han thought their son was been dead, and they've been separated for years. And just as they're about, because of the grief, and just as they're about to get together, he dies. That's the way it ends? One of the meanest, one of the, cruelest, arcs in character history for a guy who was so popular for, for a guy who had such a, big arc throughout the entire original trilogy. That's the way it ends? And then, I like a lot of The Last Jedi. I don't even mind Luke being, cynical, maybe this didn't work out for him. But then he sacrifices himself to stop the fucking First Order, who suck. And what drives me crazy about, Last Jedi, in retrospect, is it seemingly nobody agreed on what the First Order was. Nobody agreed on what the First Order was as villains, because in Force Awakens, the First Order is established as being like kind of this terrorist organization that just controls a small part of like the galaxy. They're essentially like ISIS. They're essentially ISIS. That's what they are. Like they're the last remnants of the Empire who have a small control. And inexplicably, in The Last Jedi, they turn like suddenly everybody's on the rocks again, and they're treating it like it's a rebellion. Yeah, essentially your secondary protagonist next to Luke and anyways. So Luke dies for that. That sucks. Luke dies for what essentially comes off as a bunch of fucking idiots cosplaying as Nazis. That sucks. Yeah. And then the third movie runs into a problem because unfortunately Carrie Fisher died in between movie 2 and 3, which sucks because that means Carrie Fisher's arc kind of ends prematurely. So what the series does is they take 3 of the most iconic characters in cinema and kill them off in mean and petty ways. And the sequel trilogy that theoretically could have come, that Rian Johnson was working on. By the way, I love Rian Johnson's work. By the way, Glass Onion, and Knives Out were 2 of my favorite movies. And theoretically, he made the sequel series he wanted to do sounded better. So here's my throw out. We didn't need the original character to return. They didn't need to return. Anyways, so it's mean and petty and everything feels. Yeah, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia. She died in between 2 and 3, so they couldn't finish her planned arc. It's mean and petty and it's shitty. I don't mind. I don't need like the Skywalkers to be the central like mafia family of the universe. But you know what? Fuck it. Star Wars. They should have had happier endings. They should have at least they should have had. I don't need them necessarily to like everything to be perfect, and like if they're going to be central character, you need conflict. But it was just petty. It felt mean spirited, and the problem is, let's be honest. As much as I like some of the actors in this movie, I love Oscar Isaac. Robin, if you do see this, I was a big Oscar Isaac stan. I was a big Oscar Isaac stan before people knew before he got famous. Inside Llewyn Davis is one of my favorite movies. That's, by the way, Inside Llewyn Davis is his best movie. Still is still his best movie. But let's be honest, the sequel characters just aren't as interesting. Unfortunately, they don't seem to. I don't know. Because nobody can agree on their arc. Finn is totally screwed over. Because, okay, I'm going to throw this out there. Finn is very clearly written to be the romantic interest for Rey in the first movie. It's very obvious he's supposed to be the romantic interest. And I think they cast really well. I like John Boyega a lot. John Boyega a lot. I think it's pretty much straight up racism why he wasn't the romantic interest in the end. And Finn and Poe have a lot of chemistry together as characters. I don't think that was written in the script. I think that's just a thing the actors brought to the movie. And I think that was kind of just a happy accident. And if they had gotten together, that would have been fine with me too. But I feel that that was like weird racism. Like that was not written into the script. That was just a thing. That was just a thing those Oscar Isaac and John Boyega brought to the movie. Brought in that's a thing that just comes 100% from the performances. But Finn is very clearly positioned in the first movie to be the main romantic interest, and they don't do that, and it irritates me that they don't do that. Because he then doesn't have a role in the show movie. In the last movie, he spends just going like, "I have something to tell you, Ray," and it's like they go like he's Force Awakened. No, anyways, I I don't even. By the way, I don't know if it's controversial. I don't necessarily hate Ray and who's Adam Driver in that? Ray and what's his name? Darth Vader Jr. I don't even hate Ray and Darth Vader Jr. as a romantic interest. I don't. I saw. I saw the tension. Yeah, it's to me it's very clear racist. There's a thing, by the way. Somebody pointed it out to me, and you'll notice it too. They don't have. They don't often on screen. They don't have let men of color have a relationship with white women. That's not a thing you'll see in movies almost ever. Kylo Ren, yes. That's not a thing you'll see in movies really a lot. And somebody pointed out that to me years ago, and I've never been able to notice it. Like they never let that happen, and it's like even fairly big movie stars, they don't let that happen. Like, have you noticed Will Smith movies or the Rock movies? They don't let their romantic interests are never white women. Almost never. Yep. Subtle racism, Anna. The subtle racism. Yep. That's yeah. No, notice like a relatively. It's incredibly rare. I shouldn't say that. There's always instances. Yeah, yeah, but it's but in like if it's a like a het relationship with like the man is a person of color, they will not be a white woman. Yep. Somebody pointed it out to me years ago, and I've never been able to not notice it. It's big movie stars, like Will Smith. That doesn't happen. Like there was a Hitch. If people remember that movie, that was a mini controversy because they that didn't happen. I've noticed that with The Rock that they don't cast Rock. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched every Rock movie. Jungle Cruise maybe had that. I don't know, but I didn't watch that. So, but that is a very common thing. And with Star Wars, so the thing with like Star Wars is pitched at the broadest audience possible. So they won't let like they want to make sure it can play everywhere. So it's why they'll do like stupid things like they'll have a gay character in in The Rise of the Skywalker, but to the side and easily cut out. Because, yes, our I don't like. Again, I don't. I think you have to give all the credit in the world to Oscar Isaac because I don't think. I think that was an actor's choice, the way he played the character, and I think that was a, it comes off to me very much like that was an actor's choice and not so much like an in character choice. Because he's racist, Anna. Because he's racist. That's why. Because he's a racist character of island people. That's why people hate him. He's a racist character of Caribbean people. Star Wars has been Star Wars has been accused of that before, by the way. Oh, remember in the prequel trilogy, Greedo, that long-nosed, bearded man who wears a tiny black cap, who's obsessed with money. Oh, I wonder where they got that fantasy creature from. It's the same thing that J.K. Rowling did with the goblins. The goblins in Harry Potter. I wonder where you get these mysterious fantasy creatures from. Well, that's part of the reason. Oh, no, I'm sorry, but that is part of the reason why people don't like him. Yeah. Yeah. It's like... Yeah, I wonder where... Yeah, ugh. J.K. Rowling sucks. And I say that with having trans friends. But fuck her. I don't like her as a person. To be fair, I was actually not that big of a Harry Potter fan, but that I don't like when people do that. By the way, like go like, well, I didn't like this anyways, so I'm glad they're a bad person. And like fuck you. Even if you like it, you should be mad that they're shitty. It shouldn't be about winning an argument over. I don't know. I always find that a little bit obnoxious. Yeah. Yeah. um. Yeah. It's not the worst thing, but like, or what's like the one Asian character's name is two different last name. Like, okay, so like the thing about J.K. Rowling is what she does is how she creates characters' names is she just kind of she does word associations, and she'll just do word associations. So it's like, yeah, yeah, but that's not your fault. That's nobody's fault, by the way. I'm not even mad if people like Harry Potter. Like, you didn't. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it because I'm worried it comes off. Uh, like, you didn't sign up for this. You didn't sign up for the author years later going insane and like ranting about trans people. That's not your fault. You were a kid who wanted to read about a magical school. You didn't sign up. You didn't sign up for this. That's their fault for ruining your fun. Yeah. Yeah, that's like, but like, that's their fault for ruining your good time. Like, you didn't sign up for any of this. You didn't go in thinking, "Oh, I think this author in a few years is going to get is going to get weird and is going to get weird and transphobic and hang out with a bunch of like borderline fascist people and support them." Like, yeah, I don't know. I do get angry at because I'm like, I didn't like Harry Potter as a kid. Too many words. I like TV and movie. I like TV and movie, and that didn't do anything in my brain. But I do resent, like, one of the things I resent is when authors get weird years later and start getting kind of racist. Because it's like, I didn't sign up for this fucking loser bullshit. I don't know. Harry, yeah. Anna, TV existed. But TV, but TV, Anna, Pokemans was on. And I had to, I know that's what reading is. I have an English degree. But as a kid, it was too many words and I got bored with it. I had English minor, I should say. Yeah. But I don't know. Just if you're a fan of Harry Potter, I still read too. I read a lot. I read a lot more now than I was a kid. Um, I'm reading a very dense book about the 30 Years' War, as you could hear. But I just want to say to people, like, that wasn't your fault. That wasn't your fault. Don't be weird. Like, you don't have to be weird about liking that. You didn't sign up for any of this. That's her screwing everything up. See, that's what my advice to anybody who wants to get into books, like only authors who have been long dead, because they can't do all this. They can't do anything bad. They already did all this stuff they were going to do. They're not going to get weird about like trans people. Yeah. Well, I've talked about this before. Harry Potter, like I know we don't want to admit it now. Harry Potter is very good. Is kind of I do too. Is kind of good. Is kind of in many ways like the platonic, platonic like YA series in a lot of ways. If I could, because it does a bunch of things right, and the main thing it does is, okay, if you're looking to write a YA book, yeah, let me throw out the one trick you should do. You aren't you need to build a sandbox, and what I mean by that is that what Harry Potter did was establish the rules of a world, establish the rules of the world, gave a person rules of the world, and it put people so much so that you could easily slot yourself in to the story, because you don't have to be Harry Potter, but you can be like some random kid at Hogwarts learning magic, and they even have like every kid has their own like house, and like imagine you going to this magical place where you get like your own magical owl and you get to learn all these spells and fight evil guys, and you even get to hang out with kids like you who are into the stuff you are, and you'll be a part of your own special little team. Every other YA book does this. Every other YA book does this. Anna, every other YA book does this. Uh, including all they're all trying to eat from the Harry Potter thing. Hunger Games does it. Which I know some people don't like those, but I'm going to throw it out there. They're 100% encouraging you to do that. That's the whole point. They're 100% trying to get you to do that. That's what they want. They want you to self-insert into it. Yeah. Okay. Anna, do you know Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven? Oh God, what's her name? Way, named after Gerard Way, of course. Oh, I thought everybody knew this. The most infamous fanfic of all time, My Immortal. Which is either a very elaborate parody or a very real thing. 1 second. My Immortal. You're getting a if I could. Chapter 1. You're getting a reading from My Immortal. Special thanks, get it? Because I'm Gothic. To my GF, you not in that way, Raven. Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the story and the spelling. You, Rook. Justin, you're the Louvre of my depressing life. You rock too. MRC Rooks. XXXXXX. Hi. I'm doing a live reading. My name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way. I have long, ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears. A lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Author's note. If you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here. I'm not related to Gerard Way. But I wish I was, because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magical school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in 7th year. I'm 17. I'm goth. In case you couldn't tell, I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick with foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside of Hardworks. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put my middle finger at them. "Hi, Ebony," shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. "What's up, Draco?" I asked. "Nothing," he said shyly. And then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. Author's note. Is it good? Please tell me thanks. So that was My Immortal. It's been called by some of the most infamous fanfic ever. And if you would believe it, it has been the subject of years of speculation because nobody knows who wrote it, and many people have tried to find out who wrote this piece. Because, like, nobody... I'm slowly coming around. I believe it may have been a parody. It goes on like that for a long time. So you didn't write this? You aren't Ebony Dementia Darkness Way? Of course, nobody can find my fan fiction account. I certainly never had one. Didn't write a Danny Phantom fanfic. What? You don't want to hear more from Ebony and her friends? Chapter 2. Bloody Tears 666. Author's note. Fangs. See, she spells it fangs instead of thanks. It's fangs. It's spelled Fangz. Fangs to Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the chapter. By the way, preps, stop flaming my story, okay? The next day, I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. My coffin was black ebony. Inside it was hot pink with velvet with black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace. This is how it always goes. Pentagram necklace, combat boots, black fishnets. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend, Willow, author's note, Raven, this is you, woke up and then grinned at me. I have not seen the movie In Your Eyes. I've not seen that. What, you guys aren't liking this? What are you talking about? This is everybody's favorite. Sure, go ahead, link it. I hate this eraser. It ruins all my drawings. You can link. I have links on, I think. Okay, I'll read. My friend Willow woke up. Author's note, Raven, this is you. Woke up and grinned at me. She had flipped her long, waist-length raven hair, black hair with pink streaks, and opened up her forehead screen. Anyways, okay, I'll stop now. I don't know. Are you saying that there are better things than that? I don't know. Awesome. I'm excited to hear that, Opus. Guys, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to bed. It was really nice. It was really nice talking to you, but I'm so tired. I can't keep going. I just don't got the energy to keep going. I don't know if we've talked before on it, but it was nice talking to you. And Opus, is always good seeing you. Opus, I want to hear all about your things next time, okay? So, yeah, we'll call it here. hope everybody had a good time. I hope people had a good time. I try to make these things fun. Joined a okay. I try to make these things fun. Well, I do have a particular piece of literature I could recommend. Black hair with pink streaks open on her forest green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a mini point. I can't anymore. This is fun. I might do the. I'm having fun doing this. There's another one that I love called the Eye of Aragorn. Do that later. Okay. Well, I gotta call it here, guys. Have a good time. I'm gonna start serious talk for just a moment. Uh, I I can't keep. I want to start changing stuff I'm doing, and the open mic night in New York thing was a little bit of a me tentatively stepping out and trying different things, and I want to keep doing that. So I don't. Schedules might be different in my life, but it will. I'll do what I can. Okay. Have a good time, everybody. I do. Let me invite you to that before you head out. Okay. Feel free to join. I would appreciate. Okay. Did you get it? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.